What's happening, baby? We had to get a little bit of twang, a little bit of Music City up in here, because today, Dallas Clark, also known as Indo is my Nindo, from the Huddle Chat Sports Show, is going to be talking about Music City, Tennessee, baby. We talking about the Tennessee Titans. We're going to be diving into the Tennessee Titans, continuing through our coverage of the AFC South as we proceed through all 32 NFL teams and their drafts. We're going to be doing recap analysis of their drafts, moving on into their offseason movement, trades, all that good stuff, re-signings, non-signings, everything that matters that we head on in to the NFL season of 2023, and we start building our draft day manifestos, getting all excited for the fantasy football huddle. I can't wait. So like as always, I'd love to welcome y'all to the Huddle Chat Sports Show. If you don't know, we now are in year 4 of the Huddle Chat Sports Show. It's absolutely insane to think about how we started and where we are right now. I mean, 4 years running and no longer just a small show, but a small business as well. I mean, we're starting to do big things over here at the Huddle Chat Sports Show, and we're extremely excited to bring you along for the ride. So if you haven't yet, please make sure you subscribe to the video. And if you like the content, give your boy a thumb. What the heck, man? What I gotta do to give me a thumbs up? Like the video and tell your friends. We're gonna be doing some huge giveaways. I'm gonna get into it a little bit later, but once we hit 100 subscribers on YouTube, we're going to be doing a lot of huge giveaways here, some Huddle Chat Sports Show merch, some free customized sports apparel. So make sure you tell a friend about us. The Huddle Chat Sports can only grow with amazing people such as yourself. So without further ado, before we can get into the Music City, start talking about the Tennessee Titans draft picks from 2023, I got to invite you, as I always do, and there's no peer pressure if you don't, to smoke them if you got them. Fill up your cup, roll something up, and let's get right into the news. So one of the biggest offseason changes for the Tennessee Titans is losing longtime veteran offensive tackle Taylor Lewan. He was really the captain of the offensive line for sure. Normally you see that in the center, but Taylor Lewan was definitely the captain of the Tennessee Titans offensive line. And that leaves another huge gaping hole in front of former rushing champion Derrick Henry. I mean, and not the type of hole as a running back that you typically would want. The Titans have a lot of glaring holes on their roster, but the obvious best player and who the team is built around is going to be Prince Henry, Derrick Henry, former rushing champion. The Titans definitely had to take advantage of the best offensive lineman in the draft when he came to them, and I believe the 11th pick, and they took Peter Skoronski in the first round. It's a great pick for the Tennessee Titans. A lot of people were wondering whether they would try to solidify their quarterback of the future or whether they would try to rebuild that offensive line. And with Derrick Henry still being there at the current moment, it's very important for them, no matter who's that quarterback, is going to need protection, and Derrick Henry is going to need protection for him to do things like he likes to do. So like I said, they had to take that opportunity to take Peter Skoronski, and they did. They made a smart move. But the greatest move that the Tennessee Titans made was moving back into the early portion of the second round. They tried to trade back into the first round, but honestly, to the benefit of their financial department, since they will not have to sign him to a first round contract. They were able to trade up early in the second round as opposed to trading back into the first round, which kind of works out better for them in a financial sense, like I'm saying. But they went and got Mr. Mayo and his coffee himself. They went and got Will Levis with their second pick, the second pick in the second round. All those twos, you might think, well, Levis might want to go number 2. So it's letting you know, Ryan Tannehill is coming in on the last year of his contract. Will Levis already was the kind of character, the kind of player that you didn't want to start on week 1 necessarily. You didn't want him to come in and necessarily take the reins and take that pressure. He doesn't have that pressure that he's a superstar. We drafted him early, spent this capital that we did to get him. So in a sense, it relieves a lot of pressure off of Will Levis. Like I said, you don't necessarily want to start Will Levis day 1, and Ryan Tannehill is solid enough that you can trust him as a veteran quarterback to lead you to hopefully not finish last in the AFC South and groom Will Levis to start next year. You're looking at Malik Willis, even last year's draft pick, not being a waste of a pick. They tried Malik Willis out. It didn't work well for them. So now they're moving on to potentially and hopefully for them, their quarterback of the future. And they really didn't spend much to get Will Levis in the second round. They traded away a third round pick next year, essentially, to move up to get Will Levis. So I think that was the smartest move that the Tennessee Titans made, was getting Will Levis out there in the second round. A lot of people are pointing to similarities for the obvious reasons that draft day slide. They're pointing similarities to Aaron Rodgers. Really no other reason than the draft day slide. I'm looking, even with the draft day slide, at similarities more like Geno Smith. Expected to get taken in the first round, slid down into the second round, and it kind of ends up being where he belongs. You look at where Geno Smith's career is now, and it's no failure. Geno Smith has finally come into his own rights, especially looking at last season, what he did with the Seattle Seahawks. So I expect something similar from Will Levis. He's not going to be the person that comes in and instantly changes the Tennessee Titans, but given the patience, given the correct system, the Tennessee Titans may have their quarterback of the future and already have questions for next year answered when Ryan Tannehill's contract expires. I do think that their best value pick, the gem that they found in the draft, is going to be Tyjae Spears, the running back out of Tulane. He's an absolutely amazing running back value pick. He's probably the best running back in the draft that was not Bijan Robinson, the best non-Bijan pick at the running back position. He's a great rotational piece. You look at what Prince Henry has right now, he's a workhorse back, but I've asked for years on the Fantasy Football Huddle, how long can Derrick Henry take this volume of carries and remain as efficient? Take a load off of Derrick Henry. Don't make him have to be a third down back if he doesn't have to be a 3-down back. So it's going to be a great rotational piece and relieve some of that stress off of Derrick Henry's back. And then we also are looking at their other offensive lineman pick that they made late in the draft, Jalen Duncan, the offensive tackle out of Maryland. First of all, Jalen Duncan is an athlete. He was originally projected to go closer to the first round and slid down into the 6th round. And you can kind of take that how you want to take that, whether he had high expectations that he didn't meet, or there was a couple of questions that we had going into the season that when we got answered, we found out that this may be somebody that's more of a developmental pick. And if you give him the room, give him the space to grow, he could definitely outplay his draft spot. I definitely think Jalen Duncan, of course, is going to take some grooming. He's going to take some experience. He's going to take some growing. But Jalen Duncan can definitely grow into and definitely help out that Tennessee Titans offensive line in the future and potentially be protecting Will Levis in the future. That's going to be it for today's episode of the Huddle Chat Sports Show, wrapping it up in the Music City, talking about the Tennessee Titans and their 2023 NFL Draft. We're getting close to wrapping up the AFC South. Like I said, we're going through all 32 teams' draft picks, and we're analyzing them. We're doing a recap, and then after that, we're going through the offseason as we build towards our draft day manifestos. I'd like to thank y'all so much for tuning in today. Make sure you drop a like if you haven't yet. Tell a friend to tell a friend about the Huddle Chat Sports Show and have them drop a subscription as well. Hit that notifications bell so you always stay in the know, because you know if we're not talking about your team today, it might be about tomorrow that we're talking about them. So y'all enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the rest of your weeks. Don't let life get on your heads. Always take that second to take a deep breath and take a step back. Y'all have a good one. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm going to get the hell up out of here. I'm going to see y'all next time, man. Peace out.